Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, clocks in at 2 hours and 28 minutes long. It delivers on that promise of vehicular carnage and lots of action, just like Mad Max Fury Road, but it seems like it's adding in a little more complexity to the story and a little more heart to the story. I really loved the initial scenes that depict a lot of savagery and desperation, and so it gets off to a really strong start. The more recent Mad Max films are always very strong visually, and I felt they had cool little world building details like hot swappable gas tanks that are retrofitted to the motorcycles and things that just really add to the immersion of being in that world. And it ties into the characters' motivations. What are they trying to do? What are they trying to accomplish? And how does the world affect their actions? Of course, you get another convoy chase scene. It's such a fun watch because you never know how they're going to get attacked next. It's very creative and it's done at a very professional level. So it just is such a compelling piece of film. But the movie did get a little overlong, and again, I think this is another film where there's a section, there's a scene that you could extract from the film, and it would actually make the film stronger. Now, the scene that I'm talking about, it is a little bit more integral to the story, but I feel like they could have added that in elsewhere, and the film would actually be a stronger film. Now, this is a comment regarding the tone of the film. Chris Hemsworth plays Dr. Dementis, and he's wearing a prosthetic on his nose. I wonder if he now knows what it's like to be ugly, but he has some interactions with Immortan Joe, and I find them hilarious, but I just felt like his character was a little overacted, a little overwrought. And I know that's kind of the tone that this film is going for, but I almost felt like the comedy would be even more served if all of the characters were taking things a little bit more seriously, because the situations that they're in just lead to comedy inherently, and he just felt a little hammy. Furiosa does a good job setting up the interactions between Dementis and Immortan Joe, and I enjoyed those scenes immensely. So even just that scheming and that interaction, it felt pretty compelling for me. I won't spoil anything, but there's a real commentary about revenge at the end of this film. It does feel like they're trying to bring a little bit of a moral to the story, and even though this film is really just about the high octane vehicular action, I appreciated it because it makes you question why anyone really does anything, and so I thought it was a nice little addition. If you like Mad Max Fury Road, you're going to like Furiosa. It's a lot more of the same, but it adds a few complexities, and I think the underlying story and characters are strong enough that it warranted this film. It's been long enough since the release of Mad Max Fury Road that I think it was fun to revisit this world, and the vehicular carnage and action is up to par, and so I think that's why it's a worthwhile ride. Please like and subscribe if you want to join me in a future video to discuss the latest movies, because I'll be inviting audience members on the show.